Hi, Janelle Schaefer here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video, and I'm finally outside. It is spring and plants are starting to come up out of the ground. So I wanted to do a little video today where I show you some early spring greens that are popping up that you can look for and identify and start eating. So we're gonna get started here, but please like, subscribe, hit the bell button, comment, check out my description down below, click on my Linktree, and then all of my other links are there, especially my newsletter button. Sign up for my newsletter and you can send me a personal message. So it is middle of March, just about the middle of March. We have 60 degrees today in eastern Pennsylvania. And I'm getting a craving for dandelions. So I'm up in my garden and I'm going to show you what I've found so far. Okay, so I just pulled back some leaves here, and underneath the leaves at this raised bed, I see these shoots, these dandelion green shoots coming up. And really right now is the time into April where you want to pick your dandelion greens, because the tender leaf, so this is Tooth of the Lion, the tender leaf is delicious in salads. Once it gets the flower, it is rather bitter. I still eat them that way, but they're better at this early stage. The flowers can be eaten when they flower, and the roots can be dug up, especially if it is an older dandelion that has a thicker stem. I don't usually dig up the small ones. So this one looks a little bit small, like has tender leaves here and tender shoots. So the root is probably going to be a newer root. And when I go back inside, I will share with you some of the benefits of dandelion greens. I'm going to look for some other things here in my garden right now. Okay, so in this bed, I had planted garlic, and that was actually 2 years ago, and I didn't really get very much last year, and I didn't do anything. I didn't dig it up. I just let it go. So I have a couple places where the greens are coming up, and because we still could possibly get some frost here, I'm going to put the leaves back in place, because the leaves actually can help protect your plants. And moving over, I'm going to cover up my dandelion greens a little bit. And here is my yarrow. And so the white yarrow is the wild variety that grows on its own. Europe, the United States, and this is this feathery leaf here. So when you get to know your plants, you can identify them without the flower. So I definitely know yarrow very well. And I don't really pick my yarrow at this point. I wait for my yarrow to flower, and I collect the leaf, the more mature leaf, and the flowers. But if I needed to eat something and I wanted to, I would come up here, get some of this. You can also powder it. So the best, I just tried a bite. Oh, it's very sweet and tender right now. But you can chop it up fine and dry it, and the powder will stop bleeding in a cut. So it's a great first aid plant. And I don't want to waste those two pieces. And see what else I have here. Some more yarrow. Yarrow spreads like crazy. You usually have to keep your herbs at bay so that they don't take over other areas. I'm going to go to another. This is my thyme, and where it's been covered with some leaves, you can see the green. And thyme is one of those herbs that, I mean, it really can give green leaves all winter long, especially if it's under some kind of protection. I only allow, I don't really cover my plants except for what happens when the leaves fall. So I don't really clean my garden out well until I'm ready to plant again. But This is some beautiful thyme that's come back. Now this top dried, this top section with the dried parts, I would want to trim that back because that isn't going to come back to life. So when I get my trimming shears out, I will cut away some of the brown and want to leave the green pieces. So here's some beautiful green. Again, I'm just gonna press that down. We're gonna have a whole week of warm weather, so the plants are really gonna do a lot this week. And here is one of my lavender plants, and this is a good sign. It has some green tips. Sometimes lavender gets hit really hard in the winter and dies, but because I see the green tips here, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have this plant come back, and this one has come back for about 3 years now. It would be bigger if I had even better soil, but my soil is just so. I have to enrich it a lot with compost. And then next to the lavender is these wild strawberry leaves that are coming up. And these can be pulled and made into a nice spring tea. In fact, I think I'm going to collect some and do that when I go in the house. Because once I have fresh herb, I do not want to make dried leaf tea anymore. I kind of get tired of the dried leaf in the wintertime and just really desire some fresh leaves. So we're going to go inside, and I'm going to get out one of my favorite herb books and talk about some of the health benefits of these plants that I've showed you right now. Okay, so I have shared this book before, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, and I think it is a good beginner book. As I've mentioned, it has a lot of common plants. So let's see what we can find about the ones that I just shared. Let's go here. 140, 141. Pictures are pretty nice. So here's thyme. Thymus vulgaris. It's a culinary herb, but it has antiseptic properties which help prevent cavities and treat gingivitis. So you can make a mouthwash with thyme. Thyme essential oil can be used to boost the immune system. Thyme can be helpful for digestive upsets and worms. It can be applied topically. The oil can for warts. So this is a fairly safe herb. The oil, though, can be irritating, just like oregano, and hot. So you want to use a carrier oil like olive oil when applying topically. Yarrow, Achillea millefolium, one of my favorite plants. So we were looking at this little leaf. Here's the flower, which makes it easier to identify. And it blooms fully in May to July, but it blooms beyond July. It is antibacterial. It is antifungal. The raw young leaves can be eaten. This plant is very nutritious. Now, I just ate some raw leaves, and they're not that bitter, but they do get or become bitter. Yarrow can help reduce anxiety and has sedative effects. It's calming to the nervous system. So many things. Chewing on a piece of yarrow root can help with inflammation and relieving tooth pain. Sorry, I'm like not at the right spot. Yarrow tincture. This is a remedy that you can make with the leaves and flowers, and then saving that for the wintertime months. Usually I make tinctures to save for the winter and use the fresh plants while they're fresh. Warning. I like to share the warnings in certain books but there's always exceptions. This herb is usually recommended not to take during pregnancy. And if you are allergic to plants in the aster or daisy family. Dandelion, Taraxacum officinale. The little leaves, like I showed you, obviously most people can identify dandelions. Dandelions are so wonderful and edible and nutritious young. The root can be dried and roasted as a coffee substitute, like I said. Dandelion is a known herb for liver and gallbladder help. So that would be like the solar plexus chakra. It is diuretic, helps to relieve the body of toxins and excess fluids. The sap of the dandelion can be used and applied topically for corns and warts. It is high in irons and vitamins and minerals. The leaves are. So eating like a dandelion green salad on a daily basis. So many things. Like I could just keep going on and on about dandelion here. So in general, dandelion is very safe. Some people might have an allergic sensitivity. If they have a sensitivity to other plants like ragweed, chrysanthemum, marigold, yarrow, or daisy. And the best way to know this is with the flower. So usually the leaves are fine, but if you find yourself having runny nose or sensitivity when the plant is in flower, that would be an indication. Taking a tiny bite of the leaf, you can just, taste it first, see how you feel. And most of what we call allergy is actually a cleansing of the body, of getting rid of toxins and mucus. So dandelion, like I said, is considered safe, especially if it's organic. Many reactions would be mainly because of sprayed areas. So you don't want to get your dandelions in a sprayed area. Then for wild strawberry, I didn't have it in that book. It's not listed in that book. But wild strawberry is beneficial for the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, in that it helps improve the energy for digestion and liver. And it has been a tonic remedy for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And I would focus on that herb in the springtime before the berry grows, because the energy then goes to the fruit. And right now it's going to the leaf. So medicinally, it's nutritious. It has those first nutrients from the soil. It's a good time to get these greens now before they go to flower, before they start bearing their fruits. So I hope you enjoyed this early spring little garden display of plants that are coming up out of the ground. Maybe you can go look for yours and leave a comment. Let me know what you start to look for in your garden at this time of year. Thanks so much. Share this video and come again.